What's my
Ah,
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Property Talk Life. So, if you're a new investor or someone looking to enter into real estate with limited capital or high growth potential, today's discussion is especially for you. So, for today, we'll be breaking down all properties, the benefits, the risk, and why many smart investors start their portfolio with off-plan properties. Opportunities, off-plan opportunities. So, this is going to be an interactive section, so feel free to ask questions as we go. So for today, what we'll be discussing about is off-plan properties and why smart investors start their real estate journey from off-plan properties. So this episode focuses on the type of off-plan properties that we have, their benefits, and why investors can build strong and profitable portfolio by starting off with off-plan investments. So this is going to be a highly interactive session, and right here with me, I have my co-host, Satoshiko, that will be breaking down the giving us the answers to our questions and every other insights that we need to view on offline process. So please introduce yourself to the
Thank you, listeners and property lovers and real estate lovers. My name is Tej Mohammed. It's going to be interactive today, right? Okay. Thank you.
So like we said, we'll only be taking questions from our viewers. We'll be answering questions we'll be answering questions that we get from our viewers. So we'll just dive right into the question. So our first question for today is, can you please explain to our viewers what off-plan properties are and what are off-plan properties?
Okay, so the off-plan properties, as they are called, is sometimes called um, reconstruction. So it's means the meaning simple meaning is that it's sold before even the construction of be it apartment, house, duplex, or block of flats. So it's sold. The buyers buy it off before the construction of itself, that's the building of itself begins. So what it means is that once the developer or an estate companies or construction companies, once they show to the market the design or designs of the property that they want to build, so they will show what they call architectural design. The architectural design will contains the design, the layout, the timeline for the completion of that project, um, how what are the terms and conditions, your down payment, um, the approvals from the government, allowing the permits, what we call permits, building permits or construction permits from the government. So you will see every information, how many the period of construction, is it 1 year, is it months, is depending on the paperwork that are presented to you. So what you're dealing at that moment is paperwork. You see the end before the beginning. So that's exactly what it's all about. So once it is in the market, so you are buying the paperwork, and knowing that at the end of the day, there you will have what you paid for, be it a block of flats, be it duplex, be it terrace, and or masonite, and all other types of properties that you can pick in the market. That's exactly what it's all about.
Thank you very much for that. So
Yes.
without wasting much of our time, I'm going to move on to the next question. But for our next question, please, why are off-plan properties attractive to investors, and what are the key benefits of buying off-plan?
Yes. These things I want to make a quote from Louis Glickman. He said the best investment is the earth. The best investment you can ever make as a human being is the earth. The earth is the ground. Okay. So and the earth, the ground that we all live on every day is the assets that we're talking about. So why do the investors or even um, people who are planning to go into real estate investments maybe right now, why do they have to do that? And why is it the best way to start for listeners that are watching us right now? So you need to pay attention because this is important. You might have been following us the previous episodes that we've been doing, but this is important because we want to get you started, right? We want to make sure that you start immediately without having to delay. And how do you start? Is by understanding what are the best, safest, and most secured um, way to start this thing called real estate investment or building a wealth through real estate. So the benefits that we're going to be listening is everything new. Everybody wants new house, right? We want new clothes. So everything new is always very good. New market, new house, it's always smell good, right? So if you buy a new clothes, it smells good because it's new. You buy a new house, what we call mint. Okay, so when you buy new house, it's always new, meaning the value will be high, meaning that you will enjoy it. Whoever that wants to get into that will enjoy it. So let's go into that nitty-gritty. The nitty-gritty is that it offers flexible payment plan. So what we mean is that when you subscribe um, to off plan or offline properties, you have flexibility of payment, meaning you pay small, small. What we pay as you go, right? Let me use the cliche that we normally use in a local parlance, to pay as you go. So you pay flexible payment plans, meaning you will make a down payment, say 20% or 10%, and then spread the rest depending on the construction period and the developer. So the rest will be spread either monthly payments or quarterly, depending on the agreement. So it allows the benefits of what we call capital appreciation. What we mean by capital appreciation, that's number two. I'm talking about why do they have to do that? Why do people attract the investors, real estate investors, and those who are starting up real estate for the first time? Is that your capital appreciates. That's what we call capital appreciation. What we mean by that is that if you put, for example, say $10,000 for those in the diaspora who are watching us right now. So most of you would like to invest back home, wherever you are. So you always think home, and that's why you have some real estate investment opportunities and diasporans who are investing on day by day, making sure they contribute to their mother's land. So the capital in appreciation, meaning that money you put, if you put 10 million, for example, or 5 million down, within, even while they have not even started the foundation, just by mere paperwork, the money you put has already started to appreciate. The capital you put down has already started to appreciate. Isn't that good? That your money is appreciating instead of depreciating, because when you put money in the bank, it depreciates. And you ask me why would it depreciate? It depreciates because they collect VAT on that money. They collect also for maintenance. Bank charges are so much, and it's a global thing. They charge for a monthly maintenance fee, transactions. You carry a transaction, they charge you. But once you put money into a real estate or so income generating venture, so meaning you make more money. So another one is it allows extended deposit structure. That's what we mean by payment plan, flexibility of payment plan. The other one is power of leverage. The leverage we're talking about is you leverage the market appreciation. So the money goes in appreciation, the money increases you have return on that investment that you put in. So the money you put in, 10 million you put in, might appreciate within a couple of months to 12 million, or more, while you've not even uh, nothing has started from the site. And then another thing again is that before you complete the payment, you've already have income return on investment, as revenue has been already generated. So as the completion, before the completion or after the completion, the money, the property itself, the income you generated, the revenue that you generated would have paid off that particular property even without you completing it, because as it appreciates, so you have already return on investment by the initial deposit you made. And that is very, very important because it helps you to stabilize and then give you a moral booster that while you are looking for the balance of the deposits you've made, the return on investment would have appreciated. And these are some of the benefits that why investors jump into um, the off-plan properties, and because of those of
Benefits.
benefits. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that explanation. That was quite in-depth answer. So, for the next question, you said, how can investors reduce risk when buying off-plan? As what are the risks associated with off-plan investments, and how can investors reduce those risks when buying an off-plan property?
Properties. Yes, the best way to reduce risk is like we've been talking about it for a while, and this is important because if there is can't we can't overemphasize it because it's important for anybody who want intend to start real estate investments in a very low way. The minimum way is to count the risk factors. Once you before you even make any payment for any subscription, the first thing is to read the terms and conditions. And then, of course, what we mean by that is the process. Okay, last time we talked about the need why you should involve professionals like um, real estate lawyers, okay, or real estate brokers, and then of course the surveyors and the rest of them. The documentation you have to where the risk lies are title. That title must be understood and clearly that you have C of O, deed of assignment, survey plans, and of course the architectural drawing. That architectural drawing is very important so that because that's where you see the whole information regarding the property that you want to invest. So once you're able to have those basic, of course, we do say of the family, the historical fact about that particular, be it land, be it apartments or maisonette, or be it duplexes or condo, different kind of properties that are involved, family house, and so on and so forth. And so, single bedroom, two bedroom, block of flats. So you need to be able to be sure that the building plan is approved by the government for that construction to take place, even though they have not started the construction. But the building plan would have been approved by the government. And if it's not approved, have they started the process? Are there paperwork to show that they've initiated the conversation with the government? And then the building permits, all of those things will be you as an investor, or you that as off taker should be able to ask questions about those things. The estate approval, the building plan approval, the documentation of titles, and then what are the things you're going to get at the end of the day. Are there going to be some facilities that are going to be in that estate? For example, are there going to be road network? Are there going to be lights, power, electricity? Are there going to be security? Are there going to be shopping mall? Are there going to be any other alternative power for those who live in a country that has epileptic power supply? So all of those things are the things. Are they greener plan? Are they planned for those who are handicapped? For those who are handicapped, are they planned for them? Are the building made plan for the handicapped? So in the society. So once you have all those things, you are good to go. So again, at least you might not have 100% risk proof, but you might have 99%. The rest could be taken care of as it arises. So that's some of the risk factors that we should be looking at before you get into this thing called real estate.
Thank you very much for that
Yes.
clear
Thank you.
explanation, sir.
Thank you.
So, having known the risk and the benefits of buying an off-plan investment, why should new investors start with off-plan properties when creating their real estate portfolio from the beginning? Because they are new investors, they've not like invested in any property before. So why should they start with off-plan properties?
Yes, just like I said, the off-plan property, yes, like my opening speech, that the best investment on earth is the earth. So the risk has been enumerated, and it is the one of the safest, like I said, and the cheapest way. Because if you want to buy, for example, you're buying a full building with a self compound, it's going to be costly, and the payments from even for you to buy to build, if you don't have enough capital to back on such project, they say you can't start a project without counting the cost. So you must be able to know the cost before you even start the project. So the reason why it is most advised and most easiest and the safest and most secure, and even in terms of return on investment, is the off-plan properties. One, because you're not paying full, okay, just like we said at the beginning. Two, you have the capital appreciation. The money you put has already started yielding income, exactly, return on investment, ROI, before you even complete the payment. So the value of the property has already appreciated even before the completion. So, and if you decide to exit, it's also exit plus. You can't go to buy a house now, for example, a full compound with 500 square meters or 600 square meters, depending on the location and where you are buying from, the law and, the square meter measurement and all that, the landed property laws. You pay the money in full, especially in third world, like for example in Nigeria, it's full payment. So nobody will give you their land, private land, or a normal developed land, and tell you to spread the payment in Lagos or in Enugu or in Kaduna or in Abuja. So they want you to pay full payment. So you pay them, they give you, they hand over, they transfer the title to you and to your name. So, but on this off plan, you work with the developers, and then they develop, and then you get what you paid for, and the money is yielding. And if you decide that you're exiting, don't forget you are buying when the market is low. For example, if you're buying right now, 2025, by 2026, the price of what you paid for has appreciated. Still, you are still locked on that price you paid for. They are not going to come to you and say, the developer and say, oh, sorry, the price has gone up, therefore you have to pay the current price. You've locked it in with 20%. And locking it in with 20%, nobody will come to give you any story. No story. You are secure. And then your money is yielding income, generating assets. So that's the way to go. Tell me, what kind of business will you do? If you buy a luxury car, as soon as you drive it from the car lot, the value starts going down instantly. Once you put that plate number, the value goes down. No matter how much you bought the luxury items, it goes down. So this one appreciates over time, and your money is secured. And if you decide that you are no longer interested, You still get your money plus and they're selling at the market value at that particular material time. So, is it the best way to start investing, more secure and more confident? Because that's every investor wants to invest with confidence. They don't want to invest with um, doubt and uncertainty. So once you're certain, so it's almost close to certainty because you're sure of what the market is going to be. If the market appreciates by 4% or 5% or 10%, that's exactly what you're going to be. And I'm here to see where in the whole world where they said that there's a crash of property and people sold below what they bought it from the beginning. No, it's maybe the capital gain might not be much, but it can never go below the real uh, initial price or the initial investment price. So these are the things that make it security proof. So you have total control of your investments, and as you build, by the time you see the return on investment on the first one, you can have confidence to buy more, invest more, and then you can invest and continue to invest and build it before the 1 year plan or 2 years plan of the completion of that project. You have already made more money, and you can roll over that money. And also for the mortgage, for some that used mortgage to secure those properties, it's also going to help them tie the mortgage and refinance the same property for another property. So you have the capital, the asset, you can use that asset to borrow money while you are still paying for it. So it becomes a collateral for mortgage to refinance another project of the same nature based on the capital that is put or the value of that, because they're going to be revaluing the property if you want to use it for mortgage based on the current market price. So those are the things that the secret that we're trying to unlock and let people understand that it's more secured as a new investor in the real estate or someone who wants to start building um, portfolio in the real estate industry. So it's the best secured as far as I'm concerned so far for you to start with, even as we go into another year. This is the best time to start, and this is the most secure um, uh, pathway to build wealth.
Thank you very much, sir, for that explanation.
Yes.
So, our last question for today actually is um, off-plan investment, is it suitable for both short-term and long-term investors?
It's more or less of a long-term investment because you spread the payments for a period of time. Of course, you don't go into real estate with a short-term mindset. You go into real estate with a long-term mindset. That's when you see the actual benefits and return on investment in um, property or real estate wealth creation. So it's a long-term sector and it's a long-term investment, but it appreciates as you go. So it's not like you're somebody who is not into production that will take gestation period for you to, even if you start a company today, it's period of gestation which is about 5 years or more, depending on the kind of business you embark upon. So there's no business wealth is not built with short-term mindset. And I repeat that for those who want to build wealth, it's not built on short-term mindset. It's built with a long-term because you are going in for generational wealth creation. And even God, who created us, had planned for 7 days creation. That shows you that everything work with process. And so there's nothing that is good or wealth that's built within the short-term mindset. You create something that is involved over time. And real estate is one of those things that evolves over time. And as the year progresses, as the time we move with the time, the appreciation of that asset go up. So it can never go down. So for you, that is going that you want to cash in, cash out. Maybe probably yes, off plan could work because you can put it in and put it out. But don't forget that the more you allow time to tarry, the more the return on investment increases. So if you, for example, put in some amount of money into off-plan projects, and the project is 1 year or probably 2 years, some depending on the developer. So you want to cash it in immediately. So the return on investment is going to be minimal because the person sometimes in 1 year they might have not even started the construction. So they're still selling, like some of the real estate projects that we are partnering with some people. Some of them are still selling landed property. They have not even started putting the necessary facilities in that land. Some of them have not been filled. Some of them they have not even finished securing all the documentation. But people have started subscribing 2 years back, and then what they paid for has started increasing. I recall one that we did in Enugu and then in Lagos here. So it started selling with 5 million. Today it's 10 million. Did you see that? So you have almost 100% return on investment, double of what you paid for. For example, you pay 5 million. Yet you've not put anything to that land. You are not the one clearing the land. You are not the one securing the paperwork from the government. You are not the one putting the drainage and all the electricity, the road network and all that. But your capital investment have started appreciating. And if you have, for example, you subscribe for 2-bedroom luxury apartments, you pay, for example, I use the illustration of the Lekki Phase 1 that we're still selling today. It started with 100 million, moved to 120 million, to 150 million, 180. Today it's 220 million. I believe now it's almost 250 million. Because as of the last November, October, it was 220, 230. So now it's 250. By next year, it could be 300 million. And that's the way it is. So you go, as you go, the year progresses and time go by, the amount of money you put in is doubling almost on every month. And that's how it goes. So if you are patient, you make more money. And it's risk proof. So some have moved into the high-rise building. Some have taken possession. Some are still buying. So if you ask your neighbor, how much did you bought your own? They will say 100 million or 50 million. And then you paid your own 250 million. That man is already over 100 million richer than you that are looking to go and buy. Maybe if you are looking for a short-term project, maybe probably go for something that cash in, cash out immediately. So that real estate might not be an ideal one for you because you need patience. You need you to understand the nitty-gritty and how you can turn that money to become a cash flow venture and something that will liberate you from poverty. Because I know some people are watching us right now and they are looking on how will they be able to make more money in 2026. This is what we're talking about. This is the way to start. Start from now. Get one locked in and then pay down payment of 20%. And you have the flexibility of paying over time. And as you're paying, the property is appreciating. You can go to a place that is very low. It mustn't be on a prime locations. So you can start from a low place and build from there. And then before you know, the money you're going to take, and I want to tell to people that are real today, if you are anxious or you are conscious of changing your circumstances, if you want to change the story of your life, this is the time to start it. Don't take that money to go and buy luxury car. If you have more money to buy luxury car, that's okay. But divide the money and split it and take 20% and lock in 2-bedroom duplex, 4-bedroom duplex. You pay down, or 5-bedroom duplex. you pay down, and then the money goes into the value increases. Just like we were in Banana Island, just how many bedroom
And 4 bedroom.
and how much is it going now?
It's for rent actually, for yearly rent.
Yeah,
Actually being for 65 million naira per year.
exactly. If the person who owns that place tells you that probably they might have not even finished paying, that's the point. But he has already gotten tenants that paid 65 million. Most of them are still paying on that 4 bedroom terrace, right? They've, they've started making money, yearly rent of 65 million, plus service charge and the rest of them, fully furnished. So that's what we're talking about here. And most of them comes with fully furnished. You subscribe, the builder, the developer will furnish everything equipped. So you need just take your bag and move in. And if you want to use it, that's it for you. So you're no longer going to be paying rent. And if you want to rent it out, you'll be working, you'll be doing your business, and the cash is flowing. So that's the point we're talking about. So if you want to start this, we are available. And if you're listening to us today, so don't forget to put in your question, and my host will be able to uh, give it to us to analyze the circumstances and help you to start building wealth and liberate you and your family from poverty to a life that is full of enjoyment and enjoy what God has created in this universe.
Thank you very much for those wonderful answers.
Yes.
So that will be all our questions for today actually. But before we leave, we'd like to, since we discuss the benefits
Yes.
of buying off land properties to our viewers,
Yes.
the risk, and give them enough reason why it's a good start for them to build their real estate portfolio.
Yes.
So can you please talk about some of the off land properties that you have going on that people can subscribe to, and then they
Yes.
can make money out of it?
Exactly. So we have partnership with Blossom. Let me start with Blossom. For those that are watching us right now in Enugu State, Transequi, it's going for 10 million right now. We started that land. It's actually land, 500 square meter. You can buy also 1,000 square meter. So it has a CFO, of course, government um, uh, title, you know, and also immediate possession. So once you buy, you get a location.
So is there any one of those properties that are going that you're running a promo on? You
Yes,
have promo price for them?
yes, exactly. The Blossom, we're running promo for Blossom now 8 million between now and the 31st night of this. No, between now and the 1st of January. January, because we're sending it to let them enjoy those in the new year. So, and you can pay down. Not you are not paying if you have the full payment, okay, but you can pay down, um, you know, some certain percentage.
Installments.
Yes, installments. So it has installments, and you have your paper, deed, and of course the um, power of factory will be issued to you, and then you have the receipt of purchase, and then the remaining balance you spread it over time within 1 year. And then we also have for the luxury ones in Lagos, Lekki Phase 1, we have for land, we have Orange Island, it's still on. Some people who subscribed to Orange Island was 100 million. Now it's going for how much? The last one.
Last time you checked was going for 460 million.
Exactly, 460 million. If you see someone with 450, then you rush and get it. So these are what we're talking about. Then we have for the already built, started, conceived, like what we're talking about off plan, Lekki Phase 1 of Freedom Way, very strategic located, um, 5 step or thereabout. So it's going for 450 250 million, 2 rooms, apartments, and it's very nice with double lifts, and of course swimming pool, and then you have your security 247 light. They have independent power supply coming direct from the PCN, and then of course you pay, you have your key, and then you have opportunity to pay down and spread the rest of the payment. And then if you're looking for duplexes, we have them. We're looking for lands. In Lagos, we have in Lekki, in Epe, ongoing. That one is still, we're still selling for promo of 7 million. And that Epe by Lekki.
That's Oasis.
Oasis, correct. So those are some of the products that we have. And if you are looking for luxury apartment in Ikoyi, we're available. You know, between 25,000 to 25 million to 30 to 40 million
Yeah.
per year. You know, so all of those things are available. So whatever you want, we are here to help you. So there are many of them in Abuja. There are a lot of estates that are going on in Abuja. But again, DM us, drop your requests, then follow us on our YouTube and our social media. And of course, this particular show that very, how do they connect us, Mary?
And you can send us an inbox, or you just drop it in the comment section or whatever social media app you're watching from.
Yes.
Of course, we'll check and then we'll respond to you, or you can just inbox you directly instead. So thank you very much, guys, for joining. As you read, off-plan investments can be a very powerful tool for building wealth
Correct.
when done correctly.
Yes.
So the key is knowledge, verification, and partnering with the right professionals. So thank you very much, guys, for joining Poverty Talk Live today, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode. So we are wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. So thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.